Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are on Unit 6.2. We're going to use properties of exponents. So we need to go through all the different properties. All right. The first one that we see here, ladies and gentlemen, is the product of powers. So remember, the big number is called the base, and then those are the exponents. So the base in this situation is A. Okay, and notice that the base is identical. Exponent m, exponent n. So what do we do in that situation? Well, we add the exponents together. All right, for example, if we have 7 to the 4th power and 7 to the 5th power, we can simply write that as 7 to the 4 plus 5, which is 7 to the 9th power. All right, no problem, right, ladies and gentlemen? All right, so that again, that one's the product of powers. All right, the next one is the power of a power. A to the m to the n power. So in this situation, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be multiplying the exponents together. Okay, that little dot, remember, means to multiply. So we are going to go ahead and take our base 6, again, that's our base, and it's going to go 3 times 5. So the answer to this one is 6 to the 15th power. Okay, and we're going to leave the exponents there. We don't need to type that into the calculator because that would be a huge number in this case. All right, so that's the power of a power. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one is a power of a product. So what do you notice about this one, folks? Well, I notice there are 2 bases, and there's parentheses surrounding it, and the exponent is an m. Well, it looks like that exponent goes to both of those inside. Now, I do want to point out to you, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a times sign between those bases. If it was not a times sign, you cannot do this rule. Okay, if it was a plus sign, then it's a big no-no. That's a whole different ball game. All right, so let's look at this example. We've got 3 times 5 to the 4th power. Now, we're not going to multiply the 3 and the 5 together. That's not the point of this lesson. The point of this lesson is to understand how these exponents work. So I'm going to rewrite that as 3 to the 4th power times 5 to the 4th power. And I'm just going to leave that like that, folks. We don't need to go any further with that. If we were told to simplify it completely, we could go further with it. But we're just for now, we're just practicing the rules. All right, how about this one? All right, so you'll notice, well, we have x squared times y cubed and all of that to the 5th power. Well, again, that 5 goes to both of those. So I'm going to write this. I'm just going to write this out like this first. So that means I'm going to multiply the 5 to the 2, ladies and gentlemen, and it also means I'm going to multiply the 5 to the 3. So really, the answer is x to the 10th power times y to the 15th power. Okay, it's just understanding what to do with those exponents. Okay, that's the tough part. And when you look at the problem, you got to go, I wonder which rule it is. Okay, understanding which rule it is goes a long way because what you do with them is easy. All right, now, this one is called the negative exponent. Okay, negative exponents are a big no-no. We do not like negative exponents in math. Okay, sometimes we have to deal with them, like in scientific notation, but if we don't have to deal with negative exponents, we change it. Okay, now you'll notice that a to the negative m becomes 1 over a to the m power, and the exponent became positive. Okay, here's a little saying, folks. Cross the line, change the sign. So if you drop it to the denominator and that exponent was negative, now it's positive. Okay, now it's positive. So like in this example right here, ladies and gentlemen, I would rewrite this with a 1, because you can't put a 0 on top. A 1, and then I'm going to cross the line and change the sign. So that's 1 over 5 to the positive 3 power. Now, that can also happen in reverse, folks. That can also happen in reverse. Look, there's a negative exponent in the denominator. We don't like negative exponents. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse this one. I'm going to bring that x to the negative 5 up to the numerator, but I do not need to put a 1 on the bottom because a 1's not necessary. So technically, ladies and gentlemen, that is x to the 5th power. All right, so again, that is the negative exponent rule, okay? All right, pretty straightforward, folks. Let's keep going. Number 5, okay, this one, you should remember this one. Okay, you probably learned this one back in grade school. Anything to the 0 power, folks, is 1, not 0. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Doesn't matter. If it's to the 0 power, it's 1. All right, again, that one is the 0 exponent. All right, let's see. Number 6. Quotient. Remember, quotient is the answer to a division problem. Quotient of powers. Well, let's see what's going on here. We got base A in the numerator and denominator. We've got an exponent m and an exponent n. Well, since it's a quotient, okay, we got a numerator and a denominator, you can see we are subtracting those exponents. All right, so looking at this problem right here, folks, this one looks like it would be 10 to the 8 minus 3, so that answer would be 10 to the 5th power. All right, so that's where we subtract the exponents. Okay? All right, let's keep going. You've seen these before, folks. You did all of these exponent rules probably in middle school, and I know you did them again in intermediate algebra. All right, the next one is a power of a quotient. So you'll notice this time, ladies and gentlemen, we have two bases, a over b, and that's all grouped with an exponent m. Well, you'll notice, folks, that that exponent goes to both the numerator and denominator, okay? Goes to the top and the bottom. Okay, pretty straightforward. So that means this is 6 to the 3rd power over 11 to the 3rd power. All right. All right, I don't remember what we have next, folks. Let's see. Oh, let's look at a practice simplifying. Okay, yes, definitely. Okay, so I got a bunch of things going on here. So I'm going to start with the top, okay? I'm going to start with the top. And there's nothing that the 3 is just there all by itself, right? Okay, there's nothing, no parentheses around it. But I noticed that there's grouping symbols around the x and the y squared, and I noticed there's a 4 on the outside. Well, if you remember, that 4 goes to both of those inside. So that means this would be, and I would multiply. Okay, this x has a 1 on it, right? 1 times 4 is 4. So this is x to the 4th, and then this is y to the, take 2 times 4 is 8, all over. Okay, now, on the bottom, let me switch colors here. You'll notice, ladies and gentlemen, that on the bottom, that 3 is included in the parentheses, and there's a 3 exponent on the outside. Well, that exponent does go to the 3, so that's 3 to the 3rd power. And then we multiply the 2 and the 3 together, so that's x to the 6th, and this is a 1 on the y, so that's multiply. We get y to the 3rd. Okay, well, I'm not quite done yet, ladies and gentlemen, because I can also use my quotient rule here. So let me rewrite this problem here off to the side. Okay, I'm going to rewrite this 3x to the 4th, y to the 8th, over 3 cubed x to the 6th, y to the 3rd. All right, well, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, 3 over 3 cubed, I'm going to simplify that. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use the calculator here. So let me get this calculator pulled up. All right. take a moment. There it is. All right, let me pull this calculator in. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the 3 and I'm going to divide it by 3 to the, I use the exponent button, to the 3rd power. Now that's going to give me a decimal. Okay, remember I don't want a decimal, so I'm going to hit the math button and then I'm going to pick fraction. Oh, cool. So 3 over 3 to the 3rd power actually reduces or simplifies to 1/9. Okay, I'm going to put a 1 and I'm going to put a 9. Now, remember, I want to keep, well, here, let me do this. I'm going to circle this in purple. And I'm going to go over here. And if you remember, this is where we're supposed to subtract the exponents, right? So that would be 4 minus 6. But that's going to give me a -2. Ooh, I don't want a negative. So that means instead of being in the numerator, it's going to be in the denominator, okay? And it's positive. So the x squared is going to go down here, so I keep it positive. All right, and now the y to the 8th and the y to the 3rd, okay, well, that's not so bad. Y to the 8th, y to the 3rd, that's 8 minus 3, that's 5. Well, it's already positive, so that means that one's going to stay in the numerator. All right, that's my answer, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I could leave the 1 off my answer. Okay, I could just write y to the 5th over 9x squared. Okay, that is also acceptable. All right, either one of those is fine, but that's my final answer. That's simplifying, and we're going to practice more of this in class. Okay, we're definitely going to practice more of this in class. All right, let me see if I have another one here. Yes, I do. Let's do another one here. All right, so this one, well, we don't have a fraction, but I do notice there's a grouping symbol around this with a 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. That 2 belongs to everything inside because everything inside is being multiplied. Again, if there was a plus sign there, that's a whole different ballgame. Okay, we wouldn't be able to do this. All right, so I'm going to rewrite this. 2 squared a. Now remember, I'm multiplying, folks. I'm multiplying. -4 times 2, that's -8. And then 2 times 2 is 4, so that's b to the 4th. All right, now there's a times sign here. Okay, now I also notice there's grouping symbols around this one to the 3rd power. Well, I'm going to rewrite that. That's going to be 3 to the 3rd power, because again, there's a times sign in between everything. And then this is going to be a to the 9th, and then this is going to be b to the -3. Okay, all right. Well, we're not done yet. We're going to put as many things together as we can. Well, what I do know, ladies and gentlemen, is that 2 squared is 4. Okay, I do know that. And 3 cubed is 27. Okay. And, well, 4 times 27. 4 times 27. Ah, okay, that becomes 108. Again, I'm simplifying this as much as possible. So these two things, ladies and gentlemen, these two, that becomes 108. All right, now I have an a to the -8 and I have an a to the 9th. This is where I add the exponents. A to the -8 plus 9, well, that's just a to the 1st power, or just plain old a. Okay, so that's a. All right, now I need to take, let's see, I got b to the 4th and b to the -3. Oh, this is where I add again. All right, so I go b to the 4 plus -3. Well, that's just b to the 1st again, or just plain old b. Oh, that's my answer, 108a times b. All right, let's see if I have another one here, folks. Nope, that was it. We're not going to do scientific notation at this time. All right, so let's go in reverse real quick. So I did 2 simplifying. Okay, remember we've got a power of a quotient. Remember what happens there. We have quotient of powers. We have the 0 exponent. We have the negative exponent. We have the power of a product, power of a power, and the first one we started with was product of a power. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will do some practice in class. I'll see you later.